Drunk driving on a Wednesday with 3 bitches in the MPV.
These 16 Wiis, they've been assets and figures on my channels since 2021. Today, for Wii Sports Wednesday, I wanted to discuss how I came up with the personalities and design for all 16 of these Miis. Listen to my song Planet Miis if you haven't already. Join me gang. Let's start. I also recommend you watch the video where I officially introduce all these Miis that I uploaded back in March before watching this one, so you at least know who they are. It covers all their names, the personalities, and etc. Link in the description, but come back to this one when you are done. First, like always, we start off with Lilly Burnett. Lilly Burnett developed in February 2021. A lot of Miis here were made in February 2021, and I'll tell you why right now. Also, the newest Miis here were made in February 2021. Nobody was made after that date, like February 6, 2021 is the newest one. So since 2016, I've always wanted to make a series like Total Drama Island involving my own characters. And I actually did make a version of this in a notebook back in 2019-20 when I never finished it. But then February 2021, the idea resurfaced and I decided to go back to it, go more into depth on the idea, and I started coming up with the episode listed cast and main storylines that will happen, and the main characters to be included, which I already revealed in the old video. I got the really early designs of them as how should I design them. These are their designs now. I didn't start writing the series until 2022 since I wanted to work on the soap instead of 2021. It has a prototype name that is subject to change and no confirmed release date, but I make it a goal to get on YouTube at some point. All the characters, a lot of these characters were designed purely to be on that show, but I morphed them into a lot more. Episode 1 is fully and completely written, but that's it. The entire project outline, plot, elimination order, those are already finished. The only thing that needs to be written is the episodes and dialogue for them. Anyways, Lilly Burnett was a product of that. Enemy, created February 2021, was a product of that. So some of y'all are gonna recognize where Lilly Burnett came from after I give you this one hint. Look closely to those initials, LB. Do you know anything significant from the year of 2021 that has the initials LB? A certain meme from a certain place. Liberty Bibbidi, let's cut about the cartoon. It's only pay for what you need. Lilly Burnett was initially based off of Liberty Bibbidi, the moderator from the MSYT server. The personality has a few touches of Liberty Bibbidi, but it's mainly original. Also wanted a Courtney-esque character, and Lilly Burnett was designed to be that, so she's like a mixture of those two with also originality in it. I came up with the name Lilly Burnett by taking the initials Liberty Bibbidi. I came up with the name Lilly Burnett by taking the name Liberty Bibbidi, got its initials, and I turned that into a first and last name, LB, Lilly Burnett. The design is a very funny story, so I never knew how Liberty Bibbidi looked like when I designed this Mii. I just looked at her PvP. Liberty Bibbidi always had her eyes, her PvP, so I just recreated the Mii's eyes, and then everything else was my imagination. Various moderators would say that Liberty Bibbidi in real life had a funny design of a nose, so I gave her a default nose up the size by 3. But that's how Lilly Burnett was created. I feel like I did a good job making it noticeable that when she wasn't Liberty Bibbidi. Also, a few Miis here that's based off of like a friend from Discord. Some of them I did not do a good job hiding their true identity, but it is what it is. And also, I want to touch on this. A lot of y'all noticed that I gave. Next, we have Harrison Brooks. He doesn't have that much of a story for how he's created. He's one of the last Miis I created for the series. He was also made in February 2021. The name Harrison Brooks was completely randomized. The current design he has right now, I feel isn't good. It wasn't based off anybody, so it's probably gonna change soon. But the personality was made originally by myself, along with the design. So Harrison Brooks is 100% original. Meanwhile, our third Mii, one of the more famous ones, we have Daniela Dover. The character Daniela Dover was actually made in September 2017 and has been used consistently since. It's not completely original, but it's mainly original. Back in 2017, I didn't care about Mii's as much as I did now, so she had no Mii design back then. But then I decided to bring her back for the series since I thought she would be a good fit. One thing about Daniela's character is that everybody needs to be attracted to her because she's a very perfect and pretty woman. So in order to make her design look like a very perfect and pretty woman, I had to think of somebody that I knew who was very perfect and pretty. So I made a Mii of a moderator I used to know back in Professional Pooh server in 2019-20 named Cass. The reason I chose Cass is because I thought her face was a perfect fit for Daniela Dover, and also she's hot as fuck. It's like what I've always imagined Dover to look like in 2017. Cass was the best representation of that. I was a simp back in Professional Pooh server, I ain't gonna lie, back in 2019. What else was I gonna say? Also, when I designed Dover in February 2021, I have not seen her face for a while, and I didn't look at a picture of her and created me off of it. It was pure memory. Anyways, the current Daniela Dover we have is really good right now, and she's my favorite design out of all 16 of my Miis actually. So anyways, our fourth Mii is London Duckworth. You already know She's based off of Miss Ducky, the old goddess, common knowledge. The way I came up with the name London Duckworth is pretty easy to figure out. Miss Ducky's first name is Lydia, then Lydia Duck. So I just came up with another name that starts with L, being London. I turned Ducky into Duckworth, which is an actual last name, and then London Duckworth. The reason why London Duckworth is character is for the Total Drama type series that I plan to release soon. Well, not soon, but I plan to release eventually. Xavier Fernandez is a character of mine. We'll get into Xavier Fernandez later. Anyways, when I started developing the series in February 2021, I thought to myself, Xavier was a character who needed a love interest. So the design of the love interest had to be none other than who I think is the most attractive woman in the world, Miss Duck. Hermie was going to fill that role. The personality has touches of Miss Ducky, but it's not mostly original, but mainly original. Our fifth me is Terrence Fernandez. So Terrence Fernandez is the oldest me in this video that's not Xavier. I made him all the way back in spring 2015. He is mainly original. When I made Terrence in 2015, he was supposed to be an athletic kid who was good at every sport. He was Xavier's cousin, not Xavier's brother. Later in 2021, I made him a basketball player, and a basketball player so good that he could go pro, and he did go pro. In 2022, he was drafted 5th overall to the Detroit Pistons. Pretend he's Jaden Ivey, by the way. Anyways, I made Terrence's design by making a me of Jerky Jesse. Jerky Jesse is one of the choreographers in Just Dance, but I made a Jerky Jesse me, and I edited it to look more like Xavier, and then Terrence was the final result. The personality is basically, it's Lightning from Total Drama, if Lightning was a pro baller. 6, we have Xavier Fernandez. Xavier Fernandez is not me, by the way. He has the same name as me, and he looks like me. He was based off of me, but I think his personality is very different from mine. I do not consider him me. I see him as a completely different person than I am. I can see him as a character. I see me as me, and I see Xavier as a character. Although me and Xavier do have a lot of similar interests, a lot of differences are Xavier is much more loud, aggressive than IRL Xavier, much more talkative and social, even to the point of extroversion. He is also much more athletic than Xavier, much more energetic too. Xavier is a quiet, reserved man, while me, Xavier, is all up in your face. I don't know, I don't think I'm explaining it good, but when the Total Drama-like series comes out, I think it's going to come out 2023, but I'm not sure. You'll see. 7th, we have Tobias Jackson. Tobias Jackson, also known as TJ momentarily, was created in February 2021. The inspiration for this man was all over the place. The design he currently has right now was not inspired off of anybody, and it's a completely 100% original design. But the personality was originally going to start off as somebody very similar to DJ for Total Drama. A big, strong guy with a big heart as well. I also used inspiration from 2 other people I knew from Professor server, Jay the Hood President, CJ the Beast. So originally it was a mixture of all 3 of those fellas, DJ and the other 2 from Professor server. The Wii Sports Addiction was added as an extra. I thought he would be the best character to have that role. But nowadays, the Wii Sports Addiction is his main thing. He also displays great work ethic and leadership skills. He wants everybody on his teams to succeed, and he will help them do that too. I still say he is a little bit like all 3 of them, but not anymore. He's more original now. TJ was given the initials TJ since Jay the Hood President's first name is Tyler, making Tyler J TJ. The name later expanded into Tobias Jackson. Next, 8th, we have Alyssa Lindbergh. This me was made in July 2019. Aside from Xavier, Alyssa Lindbergh is my most popular me, as she's used in a lot of YouTube videos, and she's used in a lot of profile pictures. I use her in my profile pictures a lot because she looks good in every single color. Alyssa's design is mainly original. Her first design was made on a Wii, very simplistic and not as colorful as the current design. All the purple features were added later in 2020. Alyssa's personality is based off of 2 people. 1, a friend from Aesthetic Boys with the same name, and 2, myself. Alyssa from Aesthetic Boys is the main reason this me exists and the main inspiration to make this me. And I took her characteristics, mixed them with some of mine in real life to make Alyssa Lindbergh my most popular me. 9th is Mariana the Maverick, also made in July 2019. Mariana the Maverick is one of my me's that have 2 designs, one of my rare me's that have 2 designs that get used frequently, along with Alexander Neutron. Her 2021 design, where she's an emo girl, and her 2022 design, where she's a cute nerd. We'll be using her 2022 design in this video because it looks more realistic. Mari was also designed off of a friend from Aesthetic Boys Discord server. I made a me of that person, and that was her design. She got multiple names, but Maverick was one of them. Maverick's design comes directly from that friend. Meanwhile, her personality is completely original. The name Mariana the Maverick, it's low-key. All I did was, it was Mari the Maverick at first. All I did was switch a few letters in the first name, and then Maverick took that from the person's username as well, and then Mariana the Maverick. So in designing name this person, you can easily identify whose identity it actually is. 10th is CJ Milton. CJ Milton is one of the oldest me's here. I made CJ Milton originally in January 2016. CJ Milton is a full name. See, that CJ stands for something, but I'm never gonna reveal it. It's always gonna stay a secret. CJ is 100% original, but I will say that the Splatoon Inklings inspired me to make CJ. Her personality actually stayed the same since she was created. Like from 2016 to 2022, it's been absolutely the same. I haven't made any changes to it. The only thing that wasn't there in 2016 was the Boston sports obsession, but she was still sports obsessed, but not Boston sports specifically. And she was not non-binary in 2016. I added that in 2021. 11th is Alexander Neutron, primarily referred to as Alextron. You might notice that he shares the same name as Roblox creator Alex Neutron, but that was completely unintentional. Alextron was made around the same time as CJ in January 2016, and his name at the start was Alextron. It just expanded to Alexander Neutron later. Alextron's personality is 100% original, along with the design, and he's the same character that he was in 2016. Also, you might notice his birthday is February 29, 2004. It's always been February 29, 2004. 12th is Giselle RD. She's also one of my oldest Miis here, made somewhere in 2015. Giselle RD is one of my most interesting Miis due to her name Giselle RD. RD, that's the part that's interesting. RD has two meanings, letters from her last name, and it's also a clan that she is. The clan requires all Miis in it to have red sunglasses, red hair, and red eyes. Nobody knows what RD means though, and they don't know her last name or the clan name. Giselle RD was made in 2015. Giselle RD is actually a Mii I found on Miiverse, a Mii I made friends with on Miiverse. And I thought she was so cool that I put her onto my 3DS system, and I just took the Mii with me to my adventures. I later took that design, transformed it into what it is today. The personality for Giselle RD is 100% original. 13th and 14th, I'll be introducing them together since they are related, Ayora and Taisef Santos. Taisef and Ayora were created in February 2021. Ayora and Taisef were based off of two moderators on Foo Fighters server under the name of Mooney and Coward. Taisef was named after two people, Coward's first name being Tyler, and I also used Tyler Joseph in 21 Pilots' name, making his full name Tyler Joseph Santos, but Tyler Joseph was later shortened into Taisef, which sounds very cool, Taisef Santos. Anyways, a lot of people think Ayora and Taisef are twins, but they're not. They're two moderators from Fetcher Poo server. They aren't related either, but they always gave me brother and sister vibes. So I added them to my Mii collection as those, although they were born in the same year. I did change that for the Miis though. Ayora was made a year older in 2003, born in 2003, and then Taisef was made a year younger, born in 2005. The designs were 100% original. I wanted them to look like black anime characters. Both personalities were based off the two people. Ayora had some slight changes, but Taisef is a direct rip of Cowards, like everything. The anime, Baltimore Ravens fan. 15 is Alekia Thompson. This Mii was made in January 2016, the same time as Alextron and CJ Milton. Just like those Miis, Alekia's personality is 100% original, but the design is actually an interesting story. Alekia had an original design in 2016 to 19. Since it was 2016 to 19 and I was aged 10 to 13, it wasn't a good design. But in July 2019, around the same time Maverick and Alyssa were made, I decided to change her design and make it look like a girl from my school that I thought it was cute. And she also gave off Alekia Thompson vibes in the face. She kept that design for 2 years until I realized she had the same face as Alyssa, so then I changed it to what you see on the screen now. Last but not least, we have Jacob Washington. Washington was made in February 2021, and he was inspired off of a friend from Professional server named Waj, which is why his name is Washington. It's an expansion of Waj, and Waj also comes from the first 7 presidents' initials, or the first 3 presidents: Waj, W-A-J, Washington, Adams, Jefferson. Yeah. Her first name, Jacob, came from a YouTuber who gave off similar vibes named Rusty Buckets. Washington's design is very simplistic. It's not exactly what I made it in February 2021, but it's basically the same thing. It's just what I imagined Waj to look as and nothing more. He ended up looking a lot like Alyssa from Wii Sports, so I made him Alyssa's cousin. The personality for Washington was heavily inspired from Waj from Foo Fighters server, with a little bit of extra stuff, like the tennis stuff. Anyways, that's the origin story, my inspirations, and how I came up with all 6. Oh my god. You see how big my hair is getting? I have not showed my hair all 2022. My hair will be shown on Friday. That's how I created all 16 of my Miis, what inspired me, and when I created them. Today's just, I want people to learn more about the 16 Miis that I'm gonna be putting in my videos a lot. So that's why I decided to upload this video. And also it's an easier video to upload. So goodbye. Join Mii Gang, by the way, link in the description. Everybody's welcome to Mii Gang, and it's very fun there. Listen to Planet Miis. We'll be giving out a YouTube video next Wednesday, most likely and hopefully. And goodbye.